With the immediate rebellion of the southern states in 1861, the Navy and its subordinate forces were effectively, to blockade the southern ports in the proclamation of the Anaconda Plan by President Lincoln. The United States Marine Corps was a notable participant, and today we're going to talk about its Civil War history, its rank structure, and everything in between. The Marine Corps did not contribute much to the Civil War, and its main job was blockade operations. A third of the officers defected to the Confederacy as more states left the Union, as the same problem happened in the Army and the Navy, founding the Confederate States Marine Corps, which ultimately had little impact on the war. New recruit battalions that were organised for the First Battle of Bull Run did poorly and withdrew with the rest of the Union soldiers. Amphibious operations on water as part of the Union blockade. Late in November 1861, Marines and sailors from USS Flag landed a reconnaissance party at Tybee Island in Georgia to take control of Martello Tower and lighthouse from the northern end of the island. Later it would be used as the Army's base for bombarding Fort Pulaski. Marines took part in the conquest and occupation of Baton Rouge and New Orleans in April and May of 1862, two crucial battle milestones that prevented the Confederacy from establishing a significant port or naval base on the Gulf Coast and helped secure Union control of the lower Mississippi River basin. As I've just stated, the Marine Corps was pretty, inexperienced and ill-prepared for the coming in the war, and it was about 60% of soldiers in the Marine Corps have never actually been in combat and were just new recruits. Now this is true for the majority of the armed forces at this time, in the United States anyway. In 1861, the Corps' total strength numbered 63 officers and 1,712 enlisted, or around that. On July 12, the new Secretary of War, Simon Cameron, wrote
that the disposal effective Marines now here may be organized into a battalion and held in readiness to march on field service.
The main problems I have identified here include lack of appropriate equipment, inability to field more than one battalion at a time, shortage of skilled troops and officers, as well as some notable military disasters for the Union, such as the Second Battle of Fort Sumter. Now with that, the Marine Corps doesn't actually begin to improve until the 1880s under the Arthur administration, in which he considers that without the Navy, the Marine Corps is pointless, so with that, they both tend to improve.
Oh, have you heard the glorious news is the cry from every mouth. Charleston is taken and the rebels...
The Brigadier General, also known later as the Commandant, was held by Jacob Zealand, who served under Rear Admiral John Dahlgren's leadership and would hold the position of Branch Commander from 10th of June 1864 after his promotion to Brigadier General until the mid-1870s, and is regarded as the first Marine Corps general officer. After the war, Brigadier General Zealand successfully defended the Marine Corps against its critics. In 1868, Zealand approved the design of the eagle, globe and anchor as the emblem for the Marine Corps. A silver star was affixed to the gold and red knotted shoulder board that made up the rank symbol. The United States Marine Corps was effectively, until 1864, under the leadership of the Colonel Commandant. The rank itself, held by Colonel John Harris, saw little in the way of physical action on the battlefield and seemed to be more of a paperwork role, having to assign numbers to different ships, amongst other duties. It should be noted, however, that the United States Marine Corps was subordinate to the United States Navy and their operations. The rank insignia consisted of a silver eagle on the red and gold knotted shoulder board. The Lieutenant Colonel would have many similar responsibilities to the Colonel, serving as the USMC's second in command, or third in command in this case. We don't know much about the rank, but historians concur that given a significant portion of the Marines, like the Confederates, were not active at one point, it's presumably that they didn't have many responsibilities. The rank insignia consisted of a silver oak leaf on a red and gold knotted shoulder board. The Major was most likely the rank with the most senior command on the field. As previously mentioned, the Marine Corps struggled to maintain a battalion of troops at any time without lacking proper resources. The insignia consisted of a golden oak leaf on the red and gold knotted shoulder board. The captain needs no introduction on this channel, limited to maybe 6 or 7 officers because there were only 6 or 7 companies of troops at the time. They would be responsible for both leading these companies, acting in a special ship assignment, or performing administrative duties, and the insignia consisted of a double silver bar on the red and gold knotted shoulder board. The first lieutenant would be similar to its Confederate counterpart, in that its insignia would be a singular bar on the knotted shoulder board, and it would have command over a platoon. The same was true for the second lieutenant, though they would not hold any insignia apart from the blank shoulder board. The Sergeant Major was the highest enlisted official within the Marine Corps and was a very rare rank to see. Its role was to be the key line of communication between officers and troops, as well as to aid in leading a company or battalion of troops in battle. The rank was represented by a golden triple-sided chevron arched upwards and lined with red. The Quartermaster Sergeant was responsible for the food, equipment, clothing, etc. of the Marine Corps. They would also work with the Quartermaster Major in order to deliver goods to the troops that needed to be resupplied or refitted. The rank was represented by a golden triple-sided chevron with a straight bar between each end points. The Ordnance Sergeant would perform a similar function to that of the Quartermaster Sergeant, but their main duties would revolve around managing the proper weaponry, gunpowder and ammunition, ensuring that every soldier was prepared for battle, and they were also in charge of the overall formation's ordnance. The first sergeant was considered something of both a senior sergeant and an advisor to the officer. He may also be the colour bearer. The Drum Major was in charge of ceremonial tasks, including general decorum, the performance of the Marine Corps Band, and ceremonial drilling similar to the present Marine Drum Major's responsibilities. The rank of Sergeant was the lowest sergeant title within the USMC. Its role was to oversee a squad of men, although the term squad at this time did not exist. They would oversee their conditioning, their drilling, and help with the Sergeant Major's duties. The Corporal was the lowest rank with command. He would lead a small unit, as the term fire squad or fire team did not exist yet. He was responsible for the condition of his men and the general supervision of these men. The rank was also represented by a double golden-sided chevron arched upwards. The privates were the lowest foot soldiers in the Marine Corps and made up, well, numerous duties. They were either drummers, fifers, principal musicians, other musicians, and other than this, there was nothing remarkable about the rank. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video as much as I enjoyed making it. I found this topic pretty interesting, and we can actually get on to Civil War history now. So with that, I'm going to wrap this video up, guys. Please hit the subscribe button, please hit the, well, like button, and with that, I'm going to leave you. Have a good day.